Again, has history of a confirmed tornado. So places that we really want to be on board with right now, making sure that you are in the lowest level of your home, away from windows. Thompson Crossroads, Center Star. These are all places in Hardin County. It looks to cross near Highway 64 and then may clip Wayne County and then work its way into possibly, if it holds together, northern portions of Wayne County. I think they might even need to extend the tornado warning a little bit to the north here eventually, and then into Perry County as well. Now that's if it, again, holds together, as these storms, again, have been moving relatively fast, but also pushing to the north and to the east. So just putting a little time lapse on it here over the last, let's say, even 30 minutes. You can see that they are moving more northeasterly now as they move into Tennessee through Hardin County. Now almost, we were on the air with this just after 8:15, and it's already halfway through Hardin County. So we're going to watch this move in pretty quickly. So if there were to be, I think, a problem, it's going to come from this line, and any additional tornado warnings. It's going to come from this line. It will impact our southern counties. So I was looking at one of our maps that shows where we have the most instability right now, and that looks to be in this little area where these storms are flourishing, but I think could continue for our southern counties as we go into the next couple of hours if these storms hold together. So basically we're talking about I-40 south. These would be locations that we want to keep our eye on here. Again, hopefully as they reach I-40, we've had a lot of storms move through from this afternoon and this evening. The atmosphere is fairly worked over, but there is some forcing that is starting to occur on this line. So we're starting to get some extra help from the low-level jet, from some lower-level winds, and that is helping to create these storms to spin. And that would mean that we need to, again, just keep a real watchful eye on this pair of storms as they push more into Middle Tennessee. And again, hopefully we'll see them weaken as they get more into Middle Tennessee, but we can't give that all clear right now. So that's what we're watching. Brett?
And Katie, you know that tornado watch earlier today, it was set to expire at 9 p.m. They have been able to clip out some of these counties from the tornado watch. Some of us still in that tornado watch until 9 p.m., mainly along and south of Interstate 40. But our southern counties, they were just saying they're going to have to go ahead and extend that tornado watch now until 3 a.m. So if you live kind of in our southern tier of counties especially, so Wayne, Lawrence, Giles, Lincoln, Moore, Franklin counties, you're probably going to need to be paying attention to the weather as we go through the next several hours, even on into very early tomorrow morning, just to be safe in case any more of these storms start to develop. And right there, it looks like the map just updated, and so we'll click on this. So all the way from Wayne County, Lawrence, Giles, Lincoln, Moore, and Franklin counties, all included in that new tornado watch until 3 a.m. I want to see if they changed the time on any of this up here north of that. Okay, wow. So this new tornado watch, basically from Lewis County, Murray County, Marshall County, and then south of that, it's going to go until 3 a.m. And then north of that, they're going to let that tornado watch expire at 9 o'clock. So we're still seeing some of the better ingredients that are shaping up across our southern counties. And because of that, that is why they're going to go ahead and extend, or they just did extend that tornado watch. And it's still these areas up here in North Mississippi on into southwestern portions of Middle Tennessee where we're seeing the bulk of the activity right now. This is kind of a long train of storms. It's moving on a very similar path that'll keep on moving up on this northeasterly track. So we could still be seeing quite a bit of this work its way into some of our southern counties for the next few hours that are all included within that new tornado watch. Right now, it's just Wayne County in that tornado warning that's going to go until 9:15, but would not be surprised at all if we started to get more tornado warnings issued around this same area. But we're going to switch it back over to the velocity product and see if we can see where some of the better areas of rotation are. Like we were saying earlier, this is kind of on the outskirts of a few of the radar sites, so we can't get the best picture at what's going on at the surface. The radar beam is going to be a little bit higher up in the sky, but we can still get a decent picture. Right now, it still looks like there is some rotation. in Hardin County, really to the southeast of Savannah in Hardin County, which is just outside of our viewing area. But that's going to keep on pushing up to the northeast, and that's why Wayne County, a good chunk of Wayne County, had to get included in that tornado warning. So right here in Hardin County, where we're seeing some of the best rotation, that's going to keep on moving up to the northeast, pushing on up into parts of Wayne County as we head through the next probably 5-10 minutes or so. It'll be pushing around the Hardin and Wayne County line and moving more on up into Wayne County. Waynesboro is included within that tornado warning.
And again, Brett mentioning that the tornado watch has been extended until 3 a.m. Let me go over here back to the watch. And again, he was saying that it's going to be the southern two-tier of counties. So if we click on this again, Rutherford County will go, Rutherford County's until 3. So I'm wondering out here, DeKalb. So it looks like the exception is going to be Wayne or Williamson, Hickman, and Perry until 9. Everywhere else is going to be extended to about 3 a.m. About everyone else except for this Upper Cumberland. It's kind of confusing right now. We could go in and edit it, but want to stick with this here while we can. So the watch has been extended until 3 a.m. for specific counties, and mainly as we were looking at this a moment ago, I'm going to circle the area again that we're more concerned with for possible redevelopment or more development as we go through the evening hours. So that's about where we're looking for storms here. A lot of untapped energy here in these southern counties. We have not had much rain yet. The line has been mainly north. Everyone will get rain tonight. So I know a lot of folks in even Murfreesboro haven't seen very much rain this week. And we've been talking about how active the week has been, how much rainfall we've had, and the flooding and the severe weather. But all of it has mainly been I-65 west and north of Nashville, and even into Nashville as well. The cutoff is kind of incredible when we talk about the rain, how much we have had in some spots with almost nothing in other spots. But everybody will see rain for tonight because this will eventually push through, but it's going to take much of the overnight before it does so. The watch again goes now until 3 a.m. So we'll have to deal with severe weather until about 3 o'clock this morning. So this does continue for Wayne County until 9:15. So it's just after 8:30 here, and still a fairly decent signature that we're seeing as it pushes closer to Wayne County, still moving through Hardin County. So I'm switching between radars just to see here. We're kind of out of range. So we're going to be getting a little bit more difficult radar images, but we're still seeing near Center Star in Hardin County headed towards Martin Mills and Houston. Very dangerous storm that continues in these locations. So we don't want to take this lightly. We want to make sure that we are in the lowest level of our home and away from windows if you are in Wayne County. And might be, again, Brett, a couple areas of rotation that we're looking at. You
know, Katie, I'm looking on my phone at another radar site that I have access to a little bit south of these storms.
Yep.
That's on the Mississippi and Alabama state line. It's a little bit closer to these storms, so I can get a little bit better picture. And I'm still seeing some good rotation on these storms. This beam is going to be shooting a little bit lower than some of those other radar beams like the Memphis, Nashville, or Huntsville one that we can access on our radar computer. But there is still some good rotation that's popping up on some of these storms that you're just covering there in northeast Mississippi. So this is going to be something that we may have to be tracking for a little bit longer.
A decent while.
Not, yeah.
Yeah, these, again, we're moving into an area that hasn't really seen a lot of action for today, and that just means that it's plenty of fuel for these storms to flourish as long as the conditions are there, and conditions are there. Now we're entering the time, too, when we can likely get some assistance from our low-level jet, and that's kind of what looks to be happening right now. So we're getting more forcing, more wind that's able to assist these storms for rotation, and that's why these are easily the healthiest storms that we've seen of the night with rotation in regards to tornadic rotation. Waynesboro in 14 minutes from now, Collinwood in 15 minutes, and Ruppertown in 24 minutes. Holly Creek in about 26 minutes from now, we're looking at this storm to push in. So once again, this is something we are watching as we go through the next couple of minutes. Daniel, we have anyone in the back there able to? Okay. So we're still watching this as it continues to work its way into the area. Looks like it'll be a pretty busy night here for our folks in Wayne County, Perry County, Lewis County, or Lawrence County, and Murray County, and then on over east to 65 as well. In addition to that, of course, we're on a different radar, so you're not seeing it may be raining and you're like, I don't see the rain on the radar where I'm at. It's because the radar can only go so far. So we're looking at the radar out of Memphis. We switched radars back to Nashville, and yes, it is still raining, and that's still a problem for us here. A lot of heavy rain that continues. In fact, Brett, I was just reading a discussion from the Weather Prediction Center who talks more about flooding concerns, and it says that an area of stratiform rain on the northern and western edge of moisture is producing very heavy rainfall. So stratiform meaning just this steady rainfall that we have going on, and that's what we've got. But this still could lead to life-threatening flash flooding as we head through the evening hours. There are flash flood warnings in effect for a lot of our counties right now. In fact, I'll throw that map on real fast because I do want to stress this flooding concern. This is going to last through much of the overnight. All of these red or brownish red boxes you see here, these are all flash flood warnings. The green is the flood watch that goes until 7 o'clock in the morning. So these flash flood warnings typically need immediate action where it is possible that we could have imminent flooding in these locations, especially in a lot of places that saw all this rain just 48 hours ago. We had a lot of it, 4 to 6 inches of rain in a short amount of time, and now we're going to be adding an additional 2 to 4 inches in some of these same locations. That's a lot of water that the ground cannot handle. So we really want to stay vigilant as we go into the overnight, not only for the tornado watch. It looks like, did they shave out more counties? No, I don't think they did.
I think that's about all the same.
Okay, yeah. There have been so many maps that I'm starting to. It's
been a long week,
They're
Katie.
running together. We've got the watch that goes until, in fact, I'll just go in here right now and edit this. We're just going to say until 3 a.m. So the watch now goes until 3 o'clock this morning here, editing on the fly. And that flood threat will continue too. I hear thunder outside our station, so still very active with rain and lots of lightning and thunder even in Nashville. So even though the main severe threat is likely over here in Nashville, I'm not even comfortable giving the complete all clear for Davidson County, even though that watch isn't included. We're not included in the tornado watch. I think Davidson County is going to be more concerned with flooding from here on out. So we do want to make sure that we're still paying pretty close attention to that threat as we go through the overnight. But for Murfreesboro, Columbia, Tullahoma, McMinnville, these are spots that need to stay vigilant through the overnight for tornado potential. Cookville, Overton, Fentress, and Pickett counties, you guys, the watch should be over with in another 20 minutes. That goes for Williamson County, Hickman County, and Perry County as well. So that's where we're at as far as the watch is concerned. And then all this rain, look at all this rain back here. That's a lot of water. Let me look here real fast too. Yeah, a little bit closer to it. That's a lot of rain that is still to come and really could stress our creeks and streams, low-lying areas that just can't handle any more water, especially for those that have had problems already with flooding. You need to just be vigilant tonight that more is possible. Anything new about the tornado warning, Brett, that's come out?
No, I'm not seeing anything new on that tornado warning right there. I'm seeing reports coming out of the Memphis chat room. I'm very familiar with this area. You got a lot of family that lives in northeast Mississippi. So in Pontotoc County, that's in northeast Mississippi, a lot of first responders are having to clear out a lot of trees down. Those are probably from some of the confirmed tornadoes, which eventually is going to be pushing up into our area, which is why we had that one tornado warning that just got issued for Wayne County. So those tornadoes, it looks like down there, either straight line winds or tornadoes, but it looks like these were confirmed tornadoes, so it very well could have been that. Bringing down a lot of trees, throwing them on the roadways. So you just got to have a way to receive warnings through the overnight hours tonight in our southern tier of counties where that tornado watch is going to be in place until 3 a.m. this morning. Katie was just talking about the chance for flash flooding. Our northern areas, I think we're losing the tornado threat. I think we pretty much lost the tornado threat for our northern counties, but flooding will still be a major concern. I want to show you this map really quickly right here too, just some of these river levels. This is the Cumberland River at Clarksville. Current as of 8 p.m. 47.63 feet. Forecast crest 48.4 feet. Monday, that's going to put it in minor flood stage. Currently in minor flood stage right now. We'll go over and just get a couple more of these real quick. This is going to be Red River near Port Royal. Current 30.33. Forecast crest 41.9 feet there. That's going to put that in major flood stage for Red River near Port Royal. And we'll go ahead and get you this one more that I was putting together before the show. Cumberland River at Dover, 66.17 right now, 67.8 forecast crest, and that's going to put that in minor flood stage as well. So we could be looking at some flooding on the roadways, some creeks and streams, flash flooding, and even a little bit of river flooding going on too in some of these areas. So do not try to drive across any flooded roadways. If you come across any of those, not a good idea to drive across any of that. You can never tell just how deep that water is, and it does not take much to take your car away with that. And that's about where half of the deaths with flash flooding occurs. So just turn around and find you a different way to get around it. That's going to be so much safer for you than trying to risk it and drive through those flooded roadways. So back to these tornado warnings down here.
It looks like the National Weather Service out of Nashville is tracking the rotation that is south of the northern rotation, if that makes sense, Brett, near Walnut Grove or even Lowryville. They say it's moving into the county now. Moving into southwest Wayne County.
Okay, I see a little bit of rotation here on our rotation map around Martin Mills, Lutz.
I do too. I see there's 2 areas of rotation.
There are 2. So it's looking like probably this area right here is where they're tracking, and then also maybe down here.
Yeah.
So it looks like we could have multiple areas of rotation now, moving on up into the western portions of Wayne County. So this is just going to be something that Wayne County really needs to be prepared for right now. You are included in that tornado warning, and now, like Katie was saying, we could be seeing 2 areas of rotation on these storms as they try to push up into Wayne County. So if you're down in Wayne County, in the town of Houston, Martin Mills, Lutz, McGlamory Stand, Collinwood, Waynesboro, Clifton Junction, all of these areas. We'll zoom in even a little bit more. Central Subdivision, trying to get you more of these town names. If I zoom in a little bit more, Shawnette, Collinwood, Cromwell Crossroads, any of these spots in Wayne County, you need to go ahead and get in your safe place and stay there until we give you that all clear, until that threat has passed your area and these storms no longer pose any sort of tornado threat. That's what we've been doing all afternoon. We've had several tornado warnings already issued today and severe thunderstorm warnings for winds gusting up to 70 miles an hour. We had a confirmed report of 67-mile-an-hour wind gust at BNA as that severe thunderstorm moved through Davidson County and just kept on moving northeast earlier this afternoon. So we have really seen some strong winds, and now we're dealing with more tornado warnings. So the tornado warning end time on this tornado warning in Wayne County is going to go until 9:15. If you're just now joining us, just now tuning in, we're on the air for these tornado warnings, these tornadoes that have pushed out of northeast Mississippi or are currently pushing out, or these storms that are capable of producing tornadoes. So we have a few things going on. They're pushing out of northeast Mississippi and they're moving up into southwestern portions of Middle Tennessee. So that's why we're having to be on air right now for all the folks living down in Wayne County. This tornado warning going to go until 9:15. 8:44 is the current time, so about another 30 minutes left on this tornado warning right here. I'm going to switch back over here and just make sure I'm not seeing anything going on. They're talking about some of the storms over there in northeast Mississippi kind of weakening up just a little bit. So if we're looking for good news, that is at least a little bit of good news. Let's see. I'm going to keep on looking.
It does look like, I mean, there's definitely rotation in that southwestern corner near Lutz. I was looking at the Mississippi radar.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing we have access to that and kind of get a little bit of a cleaner picture on some of these too. This is the one that the National Weather Service, Katie, was talking about. This is Tishomingo County. This is basically on the border of Tennessee, Alabama too. This area of rotation has been weakening up a little bit down there, so that's good because if that held together, that would put that right up in the Hardin County here in Tennessee, and then over in the Arview area in Wayne County. So hopefully that one will continue to weaken, and hopefully it'd be nice if these up here in Wayne County did as well. But right now, we're still seeing a little bit, so you got to stay in your safe place for a little bit longer if you're living in Wayne County.
Okay, thanks, Brett. And again, still watching this here. It should move through pretty quickly as it marches. It is south of Waynesboro right now and basically west of Collinwood. So we'll just track this whole line and move it forward. And let's stop it at about 46 miles per hour. So moving into Lutz now, Houston in 3 minutes. Holt in 8 minutes from now. This is about 14 minutes from Collinwood, and Waynesboro now about 15 minutes from now. Expecting this tornado warned storm to be moving into your neighborhood here. This will pass over Highway 13 in Wayne County, and a lot of communities here in the path of this pretty well-built storm as it was marching out of northern Mississippi and into West Tennessee, and now moving it more into Middle Tennessee at the moment. But again, we'll take a look, and kind of looking a little bit better there on that front edge near Holt, close to Holt and Cromwell Crossroads. I want to zoom back out here just for folks that may be watching in other spots. You're still hearing a lot of thunder. You're seeing a lot of rain, and this is where we're at. So again, our northern counties, if you're north of 40, your tornado threat is over. The atmosphere is worked over. The tornado watch will cancel, or has canceled for a lot of our counties up north. That is no longer an issue. Your main concern is going to be flash flooding for the remainder of the night. That does include Nashville. I'm going to keep a close eye on this one. I just don't think it would make its way to Nashville because we had that huge storm come through earlier this evening and took away a lot of our storm energy. It is something we'll keep our eye on, but I do think here in Nashville, even our main concern is going to be flooding for the time being, for the night on. But for our southern counties, this is where the tornado watch has been extended. So tornado watch is now until 3 o'clock this morning. You can omit Perry, Wayne, and Williamson County. These are going to expire at 9. So we won't be worried about Perry, Wayne, or Perry, Hickman, and Williamson counties after 9 o'clock. So those will go away. We'll show it again at the top of the hour. The rest, and actually for these two, for Putnam, Overton, Fentress, and Pickett, these will be going away as well. So basically it is for our southern counties south of 40, first couple of county tiers from Alabama, if it makes sense. Kind of confusing right now just because we have both of them on. But we are looking at that best threat. In fact, we'll just circle it here because that might be easier. Best threat for tornadoes for the remainder of the night is going to be right in this area. So this would be the area that we need to watch for potential severe development as we head through 3 o'clock in the morning. So this is going to be where the watch is in effect through 3 a.m. for the potential of tornado. And in addition to that, still flash flooding could be a concern here as well. This is torrential rain in addition to the potential for a tornado, damaging winds in excess of 60. The rain is going to be quite heavy, and that could lead to problems on roads for areas that are in low-lying areas that may be prone to flooding. These are all spots that we'll want to keep a real close eye on as we go through the overnight tonight. So still watching that area of rotation in Wayne County. Brett, anything new coming in from Weather Service?
No, that's the exact same thing that they're saying. We're just going to keep on watching that rotation in southern portions of Wayne County. Maybe seeing a little bit of upper level, some higher up in the sky rotation in northern areas of Wayne County. Nothing to be concerned with that just yet, though, but we're going to keep on watching some of this, though. This is still going to be around Martins Mills in kind of southwest Wayne County, where we need to keep on paying attention to around Martins Mills and Houston. That's going to keep on moving to the northeast, and Cantrell subdivision needs to be in your safe place. Waynesboro, you still need to be in your safe place as well, as this storm is still capable of producing a tornado if a tornado is not on the ground right now. I still don't have any confirmation from any sort of storm chasers or law enforcement or public or anybody that has actually seen a tornado on the ground, but these are radar. This one right here, it looks like is radar indicated rotation that they went ahead and issued that for, and that's what it's kind of still holding on to. But enough of a radar signature or rotation signature on the radar for the Nashville National Weather Service office to keep on holding that tornado warning on that storm down there in southwestern areas of Wayne County. Again, that's going to keep on moving up to the northeast, and that will be moving on into Waynesboro if that area of rotation holds together. So that's why you just still need to stay in your safe place for a little bit longer if you're in Waynesboro, or really if you're in Houston especially. You need to get there and stay there right now. This is going to be crossing over around Highway 64, running through Waynesboro up into Mount Hope. So just keep that in mind. New radar scan just came in, and it's still keeping it kind of about the same general area, maybe just a little bit to the west of Martins Mills, right around Houston. So this is the area that we're watching right now. We'll zoom out again and show you another view of some of this activity that we have going on. Still just a lot of showers and thunderstorms moving through most of Middle Tennessee. Not seeing near as much lightning as we were earlier, with some of these storms up a little bit further north, north of I-40. But down here in our southwestern areas, these storms are producing a lot of lightning, indicating that these storms are pretty healthy, pretty strong. So it's this area, and Katie circled those counties in blue, that we need to keep on paying attention to for the next several hours, at least until 3 a.m. or so, until that tornado threat finally clears our area early tomorrow morning.
All right, Brett, thank you. And still monitoring our chat rooms here. Looks like the latest coming in saying that the rotation isn't looking quite as organized, which I would agree with. Yeah, that's good to hear. So they're going to continue with the warning just because it has been very intense. So we'll stick with this here. And the warning again is going to go until 9:15, I believe, 9:15. So we're at 8:51, and we'll stick with this here unless they decide to let it go. But we continue to follow the tornado warning here for Wayne County, mainly southwestern or now south central Wayne County here. This is going to be near Cromwell Crossroads to Collinwood, and points to the north and to the east within Wayne County here. So we'll pass over Highway 13, Collinwood. Want to go ahead and make sure you're in your safe spot now. Even Waynesboro included in the warning, so let's go ahead and shelter in place here in Waynesboro if you have not already, and even Mount Hope just on the other side. These are all good places that need to make sure that you're in your safe spot, away from windows, lowest level of your home. With this storm coming through again, this was a confirmed tornado in Mississippi, and continues to be tornado warned, but the red box indicates that this is now a classic radar indicated tornado. So again, that radar confirmed tornado is the purple box, and that is one step higher from the traditional warning that comes out in red. And that is just to indicate the stress, the urgency of the situation, that they have a confirmed tornado. That's what we're still seeing here in Mississippi. But again, for us here in Wayne County, we are looking at a tornado warning that'll continue, and possibly looking at a couple areas of rotation within Wayne County. So it very easily up north here near Houston along Highway 64, getting ready to push into downtown Waynesboro. We could be looking at another area of weak rotation that could potentially have or drop a tornado at any moment. So that's why I want to go ahead and make sure we're sheltering in place there in Waynesboro, but also watching this southern circulation here from Cromwell Crossroads that continues to show rotation as well. I'm going to switch radars just to see if we can get a little bit better rotation. And still, I would say that the northern one looks a little more impressive at the moment. Again, maybe aloft and maybe just above the surface, but something that we want to make sure that we take seriously and take shelter from as we continue to track this warning across the area here. So that's what we're picking up from the high top or the northern Alabama radar right now. But yeah, that one looks to be a little bit more well organized for the moment. But you notice if we zoom out a little bit, you can see most of the county here included in that tornado warning. So best for everyone. The way these storms have behaved the last several days, best for everyone that is in this tornado polygon to take action and head to your safe location for a tornado warning. I'm going to track this out another little bit here for about 50 miles an hour. Waynesboro, it is moving into downtown Waynesboro now. Holly Creek in 16 minutes. Ruppertown, you've got about 15 minutes. And Napier, you have about 24 minutes. And again, Brett, a lot of these communities are the very similar or familiar communities because we've been talking about these same locations.
I know, it's
the past several days.
It has been a week.
Yeah. So that is the only one in our viewing area right now that we are concerned with. And we zoom back out and you can see that we still have a lot of rain that's coming through. And what's a little concerning is just the intensity of the rain out of the storms that are leading with this tornado warning that's coming in. So even for those that are north enough where the tornado is most likely not going to be a problem for you, this is problematic. This real heavy rain that's pushing through Perry County now, that'll continue to work its way north and could impact places like Nashville that have seen a lot of rainfall. So don't want to see that. We continue to see quite a bit of rain back here as well. So it's still a night. It's still quite a night ahead as far as rainfall goes. And unfortunately, moving into places that we just don't need it. We don't need any more rain. I would love to send some of this rain to the south and to the east where they have not seen basically a drop since we've started this active week.
Katie, I've got the rain pulled up over here on my computer. It's
Oh yeah,
the
I was
past
going to do
5
that.
days.
You read my mind.
There you go. So these are radar estimated rainfall totals here in Nashville. Let's see, I'm not sure if you can see that, so I want to zoom in just a little bit. But here in Nashville, okay, I'll take it back now a little bit. Here in Nashville, a little over 7 inches, radar estimated rainfall totals. Dixon, about 8.5 inches. Centerville, 6.5 inches. But then if we look up further toward the northwest, we're looking at about almost 10 inches of rain in parts of Stewart County. 10 inches of rain in Montgomery County, up here in Trigg, Christian, Todd, Logan counties, anywhere from about 10 to 14 inches radar estimated rainfall totals over the past 5 days. So the ground is just already very saturated. And then if we go back over here to radar and we see where some of the heavier rainfall is falling right now, it is falling in this same exact area where we're seeing some of the highest rainfall totals. So flooding is going to be a real concern, especially up for some of these areas. They've already just seen so much rain now over the past several days, and we're just getting more and more and more of that added to it through the rest of, we've had a lot today, and then we'll get more tonight, and then we could even get more tomorrow. We'll likely even get more tomorrow. So just it could be a situation, a flooding situation, especially for our counties north of Interstate 40, where you don't really have that tornado threat anymore, but now that's going to be a flooding threat already. I was showing you some of those river levels a little bit earlier. Some of those could be getting kind of high up in our more northern areas. So just something you got to keep in mind. Again, do not try to cross any flooded roadways. You just never know exactly how deep that water can be. So it's way safer for you to just go ahead and turn around and find you a different way to get around there. I'm on the Nashville radar site. Katie, did you have something?
Nope, I'm
okay,
good.
Cool. I'm on the Nashville radar site. I'm going to put it over to the, I'm going to change the radar site just a little bit to see if I can get a good picture. But so I'm putting it on the Huntsville radar site, and we're getting a little bit better picture coming out here of Wayne County. This area of rotation is going to be a little bit to the southwest of Waynesboro. So this is the storm that is still tornado warned. I'll see if the National Weather Service in Nashville is talking anything about this Wayne County storm. So no updates on that storm right there. I'm going to get back over here to my radar and circle this best area of rotation. We're looking still kind of southwest of Waynesboro and northwest of Collinwood. If you're within Wayne, or you live in Waynesboro, you still really need to be in your safe place just in case there is a tornado. I still don't have any confirmation that there is a confirmed tornado, but you can see it right there. Radar is still indicating some decent rotation that is still popping up. Not great rotation, but enough to warrant you to still stay in your safe place for a little bit longer. That tornado warning still set to go until 9:15. It is 8:58, so another about 15 minutes left remaining on that one right here. We'll take you back down here to the northeast Mississippi. We've had a couple more tornado warnings issued for this area. These are going to go until, so this one's about to expire, and that one's going to go until 9:45. So just really riding that same path. And the reason I'm showing that is because these storms are moving off on this northeasterly track, and that's going to send them up into our southwestern counties as we go through the next couple of hours. And that's why the Storm Prediction Center also had to extend our tornado watch in our southern counties. That is going to go until 3 a.m. for a lot of these. Katie, what you got?
Just want to regroup here because we're getting ready to start the top of the show. So we are still watching the tornado warning that is in Wayne County right now. And again, we will be watching more severe weather, more flooding potential as we head through the next several hours. Please stick with us. Our live coverage continues right now. Fox 17 News at 9 is starting now.
Middle Tennessee's only primetime news. This is Fox 17 News at 9, your Code Red station.
We begin in a code red weather alert tonight as we are in the middle of a tornado warning. I'm going to send things right back over to code red meteorologist Katie Morgan. Katie, fill us in on what's happening.
All right, thanks so much, Kelly. And again, we continue to monitor the tornado warning that continues for Wayne County. This is going to go for another 15 minutes and is the only warning, I might add, in our viewing area right now. But Brett and I have been tracking this one here and still shows pretty decent areas of rotation south of Collinwood, I would say, or just north of Crossroads. There might even be a few areas of rotation that we are tracking with this storm here. So we're going to keep our eye on this one pretty closely as I'm switching radars just to see if we can't get a little bit better view or scan of what's happening. Let me back out again and I will reset just to show you what else is going on across the viewing area. We have the one tornado warning in Wayne County. That is here in our southwestern portion of Middle Tennessee. I'm going to move this radar back 1 hour and just show you the rain that continues for much of Middle Tennessee here. We've got some batches of heavy rain that are just to the south and west of Nashville and Davidson County, which is not great. We also have a batch of moderate to heavy rainfall to our north and west, which is also not great. These are areas that are saturated over the last 48 hours with rain totals that you just saw from Brett moments ago, anywhere between 6, 7, 8 inches of rain plus in some spots. And now we are adding an additional 2 to 4 generally in these spots that have nowhere for that water to go. So flash flooding will continue to be a big concern as we move forward this evening here. The flood watch is in effect through Sunday morning, tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Every red or brownish red box that you see here is an active flash flood warning that we have in effect. There are a lot of them. So that is something that we really want to stress the urgency of, that this is one night that you want to keep that phone by your bedside in case we get another alert about a flash flood emergency. The tornado watch, now top of the hour, has we've trimmed out the counties that were in the watch until 9. So now for Williamson, Hickman, Perry County, Putnam County, Overton, Fentress, and Pickett counties are now excluded from the watch. What's left are our counties here, our southern tier counties stretching all across the Alabama border. Also includes Lewis, Murray, Marshall, Bedford, Lincoln, Moore, Franklin counties, Rutherford, Cannon, Coffee, Grundy, DeKalb, Warren, White, and Van Buren counties. And this will be until 3 o'clock in the morning. So we are not done yet with our severe weather. These are all the areas that didn't really get that first batch that came through Nashville and Sumner County, Hendersonville, Gallatin, and then points north towards Macon, Trousdale, Smith, and Clay County. So this is the second batch of severe weather that is now pushing through our southern counties. So everybody will see rain tonight. I know the southern counties too really haven't seen much action at all this week. A lot of the rain has been in our northwestern counties and here in Nashville. But everybody's getting rain for tonight. This is all scattered stuff ahead of the line that's back here. And it will continue to work its way across the area as we head into the evening hours here. Brett's been watching the storm here. Anything new coming in from Weather Service just yet about this tornado warning?
Let's see. So they're saying that there will be one more tornado warning that is going to be for the storm that's currently over Wayne County. The rotation is weakening, but there's still just enough for them to need to go ahead and reissue another tornado warning. So that's what we're going to be watching. As soon as that comes out, if it hasn't already, we'll be able to
I don't see it just yet.
Let you know on that. Okay, so that one's set to go until 9:15. It may take just a little bit longer before they actually push that new tornado warning out, but that's going to be something that we'll be keeping an eye on. That would likely extend it on up here in the northeastern portions of Wayne County. It'll probably even include maybe some northwestern areas of Lawrence County and then up here into Lewis County as well. So if you live in those areas, you need to pay attention. It looks like that new tornado warning, they haven't drawn it up yet, but if I had to guess, it would probably include some of those counties. So we just need to keep an eye out on that for a little bit longer, make sure that storm doesn't start to act up. Like they were saying, though, the rotation doesn't look quite as impressive as it once did. However, you can still see the area of rotation that they're looking at. It's going to be right here in between Waynesboro and Collinwood. So you can still see it on radar. Do not disagree with them on just reissuing that one more time just to make sure. So if you live up here around Waynesboro even still, but the northeastern portions of Wayne County, just be ready to go ahead and get to your safe place, because more than likely that new tornado warning is going to include some of these areas. And we'll get that to you as soon as it pops up on our computer once they issue that tornado warning.
Okay, so this still is the one area that we consider or continue to watch. And I think Brett's probably right in the extension there. It'll probably be northeastern portions of Wayne County through portions of Lewis County, Hohenwald, possibly, and northern portions of Lawrence County here with this new warning that'll come out shortly. Other than that, the rain continues to be the big factor for tonight. If you know of anywhere that is seeing flooding right now and can safely report that, just send us an email. More we know, the better. We know what's going on out there, how we may end up through the overnight hours, what we could expect moving forward here. So still watching the tornado warn storm. I did also see an email just a minute ago about our update on power outages. I believe we were at last at 37,000 customers without power. And with
that is
NES.
better than it once was.
It was. We were over 50,000 at one point.
Absolutely. You know, shout out to all those linemen. They do such a great job. There's been times I've been storm chasing before, and we've been on storms, and then not too much later, you already see them out working, trying to get the power restored. They do a fantastic job, dangerous job that they do. So a big thank you to all those linemen out there too.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're trying to get power restored to everybody. Katie, I will say one more good thing, always looking for good news. Down here in northeast Mississippi, there's still only that one tornado warning now. So there was 3 or 4 or 5, there were several tornado warnings in this general area. So now we're only looking at that one remaining warning. So hopefully that's a good sign. Again, we have this tornado warning here back in our viewing area. This is for Wayne County. That's going to go until 9:15. However, we were seeing the National Weather Service in Nashville saying that they were going to extend that at least one more time just to be on the safe side, because there's still a little bit of rotation that you can still see. And if I pop back over here, and I'm actually going to change radar sites again, we're kind of in that area where we're in between about the same distance from several radars. I'm going to put it on Huntsville, which is what we're on now. And you can still see a little bit of rotation going on here just south of Waynesboro, north of Collinwood, around this area right here. So Waynesboro, you still need to be in your safe place. If you live up here along Highway 64 east of Waynesboro, any of those spots, more than likely that new tornado warning is going to include you. So just go ahead and get ready to get in there. Katie, I'm also seeing too, just this update just came through. A lot of our counties for that flood watch just got extended.
I just saw that as well.
To be expected. I mean, flooding, you know, it could be an issue with this, like we've been showing you with these rainfall totals from over the past 5 days, and also what's happening now, and then what's going to come the rest of the night and tomorrow. Yes,
it looks like now they have extended the watch until 1 p.m. tomorrow, which I think tells us a few things, Brett. It tells us that the confidence in that the rain is going to continue through the overnight. Also confidence in that we are going to be looking at some significant problems for some of our counties as it is regarded to flooding. So I'm editing on the fly here. So this is going to be now till 1 p.m. This has been updated a few times today on extending the flood watch. So again, confidence is growing that we are looking at the potential for some significant flooding in locations that have already had too much rain. All of these red boxes that you see here are flash flood warnings that are currently in effect. Flash flood warnings need immediate action. This means that flash flooding is imminent and you need to seek higher ground. Flood watch in green, that's what is going to go until 1 p.m. now on Sunday. So it was 7 a.m. Now they're extending it into the afternoon because we are looking at so much rainfall for the overnight. And this is mainly geared towards flash flooding. Then we have to shift gears over the next couple of days to all of our area rivers. As Brett was mentioning earlier, some of our area rivers may be forecast. In fact, a couple were forecasted to be at major flood stage. That was going to be Port Royal, the Red River, Clarksville downtown, the Cumberland River at Clarksville, also going to be a problem I think, what was it? Was it moderate? Or
Yeah,
minor?
so I got that
see.
pulled up right here. Which one? So this is Red River near Port Royal. That was looking at major flood stage, 41.9 feet. The forecast crest Sunday, April 6th at 7 p.m. Major flood stage begins at 40 feet. We could be going up to 41.9 right there. Red River near Port Royal. And the other one you were mentioning was Cumberland River at Clarksville. Forecast crest. This is as of 8 p.m. These numbers. That's when I pulled this. 48.4 feet. The forecast crest Monday. Let's see, Monday at 1 a.m., and that's going to put that just a little bit above minor flood stage. So could see some of the street flooding, the creeks, and then some of the local rivers. That's what you're going to have to be paying attention to over the next couple of days. So flooding, like we were saying, especially for our more northern areas, that is really something that you're going to have to be paying attention to. We'll drop back down to this tornado warning. They went ahead and issued the extension of this tornado warning. Hopefully, this will be the last extension that they have to do with this. But right now, it's actually going to be moving on more of an easterly track. So we're going to be looking at areas now, still a good bit of Wayne County included within this tornado warning, but it's going to push it up a little bit more to the north and to the east now. So we're going to be looking at areas like Lawrenceburg, Etheridge, Knob Creek. These are all in Lawrence County. So still, if you're along Highway 64, pretty much through the eastern half of Wayne County, from the Wayne County line and Lawrence County line, east of that, through Lawrence County around Highway 64, you need to be in your safe place because that whole general area is included within this tornado warning. Again, that's until
It's for 10:15 now.
that's a long warning.
I know.
Wow.
I thought so too.
Okay, I just saw that right when you said that. I clicked that.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
is. It's at least for the storms today because they've been moving so fast. This part of the line, though, we've been observing that is moving a little slower, maybe 45 miles per hour as opposed to 55 to 60 that we had earlier this afternoon. But again, these are some of the communities that are in the path here. Etheridge in the next 19 minutes from now. I have the track up here on Weather One if you can. Lawrenceburg in the next 20 minutes from now. We are looking at the tornado warning that will be pushing through much of Lawrence County. So we are watching do we have Weather One? Are we able to put up Weather One, please, with the track? Or Brett's got it up. There we go. Okay. So Etheridge in about 19 minutes and Lawrenceburg in 20 minutes here. The area that they're watching is going to be just to the, I think, east of Collinwood right now. So somewhere in this area. That's where we're looking for possible rotation with the storm. So this one will be pushing into Lodi, Knob Creek, over to West Point. This will include Lawrenceburg. So heads up for folks that are in Lawrenceburg right here. This is going to be moving into, could be very close to Lawrenceburg in Lawrence County, near Etheridge to Henryville and Deer Ridge, all places that need to keep a real watchful eye on this storm as it moves more into Lawrence County and exits Wayne County with the potential for a tornado that is around there. So still watching this one area. That is it. That's our warning as far as severe weather goes, and the rain continues to be a major focus for us as well. I want to go back here and just kind of check out what we've got. That's kind of an ominous,
Wow.
sort of a Batman shot, you know?
It is.
Yeah, a lot of low-level clouds hanging around downtown, and the stratiform rain that will continue. Just a steady rainfall. We're not expecting to turn off the spigot anytime soon, so it is going to be a while before we start to see the rain stop here in Nashville. So Metro Center is still looking fairly wet as well, and low clouds hanging around too. So we continue to watch this here along with the tornado watch that's in effect until 3 a.m. now. So for folks in our southern counties, it could be another long night that we're looking at the potential for tornadoes coming through.
Katie, it looks like we might be looking at at least a couple of areas of rotation going on over here in parts of Wayne County, kind of more in the east central areas of Wayne County, and then a little bit further south in the south central areas of Wayne County. I'll go ahead and circle what I'm looking at right here on the radar. This right here kind of takes away a lot of the other clutter, and it shows us just the better areas of rotation. So we're looking still right here, east central Wayne County, and then also another area potentially down here in the south central areas of Wayne County. All of this is going to keep on moving up to the northeast. So they put that tornado warning on this until 10:15. So that tornado warning is going to be in effect for central and eastern portions of Wayne County and until 10:15, also including a good chunk, most in fact, of Lawrence County going to be included within this tornado warning. And that's going to include areas like Lawrenceburg and Etheridge over here in Wayne County, Deerfield, Center, Ovilla, Turkey Track, Henryville. Katie, I remember some of these exact names from the other day that that was dealing with tornado warnings. It's just been this area. The southwestern corner has just really seen a lot of action over the past several days.
Yeah, and I'm hopeful that we can get back to normal here as we get into more of Sunday. We will continue to see rain, it looks like, through Sunday, but won't be as intense as we get more into the afternoon. But again, the extension of the flood watch until 1 p.m. now is telling me that we've got fairly good confidence that we're expecting some heavy rain through the overnight tonight, and that may will pose an issue for those that are looking at too much rain. And that is for a lot of folks here in the Nashville area but even points north and west, which we were just talking about with even some of our rivers, Clarksville, downtown Clarksville, the Cumberland, and Port Royal. So these areas of rotation still here are looking, they're there, at least they're there. So we need to keep an eye here. Deerfield, Center, Henryville, Etheridge, Lawrenceburg need to be in your safe spot. Lodi, this is marching in more to Lawrence County, and we want to make sure that you're taking your safety precautions and that you are ready to go with this storm moving in. So we keep switching radars here just to see if we can get a better look at what we may have. But easily, I think we could have a couple areas of rotation that we keep talking about. Might be even one south of Collinwood.
I think there, yeah, it looks like it. And I'm wondering if that's why that tornado warning kind of drops further south to include that area.
Yeah.
And then I saw you showing the one earlier right up here on the Wayne and Lawrence County line, so I went ahead and circled that too. This is going to be right here in that general area, east of Waynesboro, right here on the Wayne and Lawrence County line, all moving to the east. And that tornado warning is going to go until 10:15. So this is kind of a long tornado warning. This one's going to go in for another hour. So it's going to expire at 9:15 if it doesn't get extended anymore. Hopefully this is the last one. And it is 9:15 right now. And Kelly, I think you have a little bit more information coming in over there at the desk as well.
About a dozen counties I've counted so far that have seen tornado warnings just today, on top of a very, very hectic week for weather. Let's take a look at a sound that many of you have heard multiple times this week. Those sirens from right outside Fox 17 station here in North Nashville, as Nashville was under a tornado warning earlier this evening. Again, that familiar sound that so many of you heard repeatedly this week throughout Middle Tennessee. Take a look at this video of threatening looking clouds in Gallatin, where there was a tornado warning there. These are shelf clouds ushering in the storm as it did strike that area. And in Humphreys County, a tree blocking the whole road here. If you could take a look at it, we had down trees. Oh, I'm not sure if we have the right picture. Those are storm clouds there. What kind of clouds are those?
It looks like that is a shelf cloud. That's the leading edge of the cloud. And we got a lot of pictures and videos like this throughout the afternoon, which are just incredible to see. All that sort of just dark that you see is rain. So that is the rain shaft, and then the leading edge of the storm, which is that shelf cloud. If there was a tornado in this area, it was most likely rain wrapped. So I don't think we would be able to see it on video because a lot of these storms had this curtain of rain in front. So I know I got a couple questions on social media on whether or not these types of videos and pictures were the tornado. That's a rain shaft. And then the cloud deck that's just above it there, that lowering, that's the shelf cloud. And so that's the leading edge of the storm that's moving in. But there very well could have been a tornado embedded in that rain shaft somewhere. It just likely was that. It was just rain wrapped. So we'll have to investigate further. And National Weather Service has got a tall order this week on all their surveys from the week. They have not been able to get out with any of, really for much of this week, to do any surveys from this week because it's just been so active. So we'll know much more as we go throughout the week. Kelly.
Right, and we do have more pictures here of damage. That is an overturned service van you're looking at in the Old Hickory neighborhood of Nashville. You can also see a power pole that appears to have snapped and fallen across the street. So dangerous, toppling over that van. It possibly might even have been what caused that van to turn over. So certainly very dangerous conditions. If you are out right now, please stay home if you can. I'm going to send it back to Katie and Brett.
All right, thanks, Kelly. And we do continue to watch here this tornado warning. It's a long tornado warning we were noting earlier. It goes until 10:15. So we'll stick with it as long as it is issued. But once again, we continue to see a couple areas of rotation possibly. Thinking, Brett, maybe near Lodi and Bethlehem.
Let me zoom in over here.
I'm actually on the Nashville radar right now too.
And let's see, I'm gonna change radar sites too, because I am not.
So there's
right.
definitely a couple areas that we're seeing here, just to the west of Lawrenceburg, maybe even another one up near Deerfield and near Henryville. We have this one here near Center. We have another one I think near Lodi. And maybe another one near Geneva and Bethlehem coming into Lawrence County. So that one's kind of on the county line.
I was on the Hopkins. I knew something wasn't looking right. I was on the Hopkinsville radar site when you were talking to me. I meant to put that on the Huntsville radar site. Maybe a couple of these areas. And I just want to go over again too. Just read off some of these names just to make sure that you're in your safe place, because this is a big tornado warning. It's going to include a lot of Lawrence County. So we're just going to go through here. You know what, we'll just make it easy. If you're in the entire northern or central portions of Lawrence County, you need to go ahead and get to your safe place right now and stay there until this threat clears you. Basically, the entire northern and central areas of Lawrence County included in this, portions of southern Lawrence County included within this tornado warning as well, as is eastern portions of Wayne County. So you need to stay in your safe place still for a little bit longer as well. We might be seeing some hail that's developing too. A lot of times when we get these blacks and whites popping up right here, this is right here on the Wayne and Lawrence County line. We could be seeing some fairly strong hail with some of that, some heavy rain. So that's another thing that we'll be monitoring. I'll pop lightning on real quick, seeing a good bit of lightning with that storm as well, indicating that it's still a pretty strong storm, and obviously tornado warning until 10:15.
And again, for those that may be watching in Nashville or Franklin or points north, Hendersonville, we're not too concerned with this moving that far north. Basically, I-40 and south is going to be where we have it, and even a little bit farther south than that, because some of these counties are no longer in the watch anymore. So where we expect, if we were to see anything continue, this is where we would have the best chance at seeing additional severe weather as we go through the evening hours tonight. These are locations that haven't had very much severe weather for today, and so they still have a little bit of energy to work with as far as the tornado watch is concerned, as far as the ingredients are for severe weather. So that's going to be the areas of most concern for severe weather. We will all have to deal with flash flooding, which continues to be a big problem for folks, especially to the north and to the west. You look at even some of these rainfall rates, and right now, of course, the most intense rainfall within the line that's producing the potential or the possible tornado. But some of these rain rates here, 7, 8 inches, almost 8 inches an hour. That is wild. And that would mean that if this were to be stationary for an hour, that's how much rain we would pick up. So that's a very high rain rate. But even back here in some of these other little pockets that we're seeing, and we'll zoom in even down here into Davidson County just to see, you're out in Cheatham County, that's a ½ inch an hour. I mean, that's still, there's an inch an hour in Berry Hill right now. So these are, again, fairly high rain rates for an area that does not need any more rain. We're seeing a lot of that too up here for places like Clarksville and up towards Stewart County and into Trigg County. For Clarksville right now, a very steady ½ inch an hour. Dover, same thing. And these storms up here really aren't moving very much, so you could pick up a ½ inch over the next hour just with this steady rainfall that continues. So you notice we're not seeing very much movement with the rain. It's not clearing, it's just steady. up to the north and to the west. So rain will continue to be a big problem for us here, and the tornado warning also something we want to keep a close eye on as well. Brett had mentioned some small hail, maybe, possibly in the little pink area that you see here near Deerfield. The reflectivity has come down just a little bit in the latest scan, but definitely possible that we could be looking at that. I still think we could have multiple areas of rotation with this storm here. So most likely seeing rotation around Deerfield over towards Hudson. This is passing over Highway 64, so right about here. Probably seeing some rotation within the storm, the one they're tracking at the moment. So pushing towards Hudson, Henryville, Flatwoods, and Etheridge. These are all spots that need to be taking shelter and hopefully already in your safe space now as we continue to watch this storm here. And in fact, I'll just kind of zoom out and back this up a little bit, just seeing the progression of the warning. And it's been fairly consistent over the past hour, or at least 30 minutes on where that rotation is. So again, I'd probably put it near Deerfield right now. If I go back to the Hopkinsville radar, or the Huntsville radar, not seeing too much there, just with the placement. So I think Nashville is going to be the better radar at the moment.
That's the one I'm on too.
Yeah.
It's still not the greatest area, but we're going to go with Nashville for right now.
Yep, and that's too where the rotation detection is picking up some of the rotation near Deerfield, over towards Hudson, and up towards Henryville. So I think if there's a silver lining at the moment for those that are still huddled in your basement, lowest level of your home, your safe space, the rotation is there, but it doesn't look as intense as it was, of course, in Mississippi and even into Hardin County. It started to weaken more in Wayne County, and hopefully that trend continues, but it is still there. So we don't want to let your guard down. We don't want you to come out just yet of your safe space. You want to make sure you're still there. As we look at a new scan coming in, it looks a little more evident there on base velocity at least. So Mount Lebanon and Deerfield, I think probably have to Knob Creek. This whole area, it's just all of it has weak rotation associated with it. Might be even a little bit here near Henryville, Flatwood and Etheridge and Henryville. So it really is one of those situations where the best thing we can do is track the entire polygon. Normally we can pinpoint one exact area of location, but these storms have had a mind of their own.
And you see they issued a very wide, too, tornado warning.
Yeah, they did. So we'll push this 45. So Lawrenceburg in about 12 minutes from now, expecting this tornado warned storm to move into your area. It's just best for anyone inside the polygon. Just go ahead and take shelter. West side in 24 minutes. Again, Lawrenceburg right around 11 minutes from now, expecting that storm to arrive. I do not have lightning on. It's still quite a strong storm with lightning, but easier to kind of see what's going on inside the storm if we have it turned off. So we are still watching this here, and you can actually see our Barron. This is what we call our Barron button. And this is kind of a neat product in that it can pick out what we're seeing in the storm. So for the purple area, we were talking about some small hail, and that's what even our radar is picking out potentially. And then this red area that you see here, that is shear. So that is wind, that's the tornado. If there was something on the ground, it would be near Deerfield, Mount Lebanon, up towards Center and Hudson. So this is kind of nice too, that we can kind of pick out and highlight what we're seeing inside the storm, who's seeing what. More of a threat for hail in New Haven, more of a threat for tornado near Deerfield, Mount Lebanon, passing over Highway 64 and headed towards Hudson. So that's again what we're seeing as far as the radar is confirmed. And again, I can circle the area that we're looking at as far as possible tornado. So that is where that, that is where that shear is right there. And also picking out some rotation detection as well. But still, there's going to be a couple areas that we're looking at within this storm that have a potential tornado, at least possible within this line.
And Katie, if anybody just now joining us, I'm just going to kind of reset things just a little bit and just kind of show you what's going on, a wide view. So still a lot of rainfall going on up in our northwestern areas. Up here around Paris, Clarksville, Hopkinsville, still seeing a lot of heavy rainfall going on right now. These areas are all under a flood watch. We're going to keep that flood watch going now until about 1 p.m. tomorrow. So they extended that flood watch out a little bit later. Flooding could be a real issue as more rain just keeps on piling on top of the same areas that have already seen a lot of rain over the past several days. I'm actually going to just go back over here really quick. That rotation does appear to be weakening still, but there's still just enough for them to keep that tornado warning going. So they're going to keep that going for a little bit longer. But in the meantime, I just want to show you some of these rainfall totals real quick. Let's see. So some of our northwestern areas, 11, 12, 13, maybe even up to 14 inches of rain over the past just 5 days alone. And we've seen more rain today, and then we're going to get more tonight and then even into tomorrow. So you just got to be careful. And like we've said several times now, do not try to drive through any flooded roadways. You never know just how deep that water is going to be. So it's a much safer bet for you to go ahead and turn around and find you a different way to get around there, because you do not want to be driving through any of that. And Kelly, I think you have a little bit more information coming in over there at the desk.
That's right. We're going to take a look at some flooding in Hopkinsville, Kentucky, which has just been battered these past few days. Many streets were underwater yesterday before today's rains began to pound that same area again, and that is just a devastating scene there. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear says hundreds of roads are closed due to flooding, mudslides, and rock slides. He says one person did die in the flooding in Nelson County. Again, this is footage from Hopkinsville, Kentucky, where they are dealing with catastrophic flooding in that area, like so many people in our viewing area tonight, also dealing with those high rising waters. And now we're going to head things over to Amanda Chin in our Steer Clear traffic car. She's been on the roads this entire evening, making sure to help us stay safe. Amanda, can you tell us where you are right now and what you're seeing?
Hey Kelly, yes, we are in Castilian Springs. Now that's in Sumner County. We are on Hartsville Pike right now, but a few minutes ago, we were on a road called Bloodsoe Drive, and we were seeing a ton of damage on that road with trees down. Some gentleman showed us his backyard. There was a humongous tree that was uprooted. All of his backyard was actually sitting on the lake, so flooding concerns as well with the amount of rain we've been seeing here. I'll turn it around so you can see kind of what we're seeing on the roads right here. Again, we are in Castilian Springs on our way towards Gallatin in Sumner County. You can see the rain just continuing to come down here. When we were outside just for a few minutes, we were definitely getting soaked out there, getting video. So you want to be careful, and we are actually near a creek as well. So that flooding concern here in Sumner County and Castilian Springs probably remains just because of how much it's been raining for the past few hours here. But again, we are working our way towards Gallatin. We know we've seen reports of Wilson County damage as well, but we'll send it back to you, Kelly.
Thanks, Amanda. Stay safe out there. We are in the middle of a tornado warning. I'm going to send it back over to our Code Red weather team, meteorologist Katie Morgan. Katie.
All right, thanks so much, Kelly, and Amanda with a good report there too. Again, rain and flooding is definitely going to be something we're concerned with as we move forward. We're still watching this warning here. It's 9:30. It will go for another 45 minutes. So it does expire at 10:15. Some of the latest scans at least looked a little promising in the fact that it might be weakening a little bit, but I do still think there is some evidence of rotation moving into Lawrenceburg right now. So folks in Lawrenceburg, heads up, make sure you are, if you're not already, you should be, but please, for real, we need you in your safe spot, because that is tightening up a little bit near Gandy. So again, we'll circle the area that we're looking at here. I'm going to be right there. So that's something we want to make sure everyone in Lawrenceburg, Gandy to Flatwoods, up towards Etheridge even, we might be looking at things tightening up a little bit as that storm approaches Lawrenceburg now. So I'm going to track this again. We'll put this in motion, that leading edge, and we'll push it forward about 45 miles per hour. So Lawrenceburg, you have minutes right now, 8 minutes. West side in about 22 minutes. And then behind that, we've got torrential rain, maybe some small hail, but mainly a heavy rainfall that will continue to be the problem later tonight. I still hear thunder from our station.
All day.
Yeah, we're still looking at quite a bit of rain here and lightning. So you can see all this lightning behind the line, which again, if you're in Nashville, Hendersonville, Franklin, Carthage, Cookeville, Lafayette, Springfield, you kind of get my pattern here, Clarksville, we are done with severe weather for today. The thing that we need to focus more on here in these locations is flash flooding, which it's still considered severe weather. But as far as the tornado threat goes, that is going to be in our southern counties, even though we are still hearing thunder and lightning at this time. So I want to stress that for those that may be a little anxious hearing the thunder and lightning, or hearing the thunder and seeing the lightning, the rain that's still coming down. We have some pretty intense thunderstorms. These are all non-severe, but a lot of them pushing through Williamson County and through Murray County, Columbia, and even Lewis County. Very heavy rain right now. That's where the tornado warning is butting up next to Lewis County. But the best rotation still looks to be moving into Lawrenceburg. So this is the one severe storm that we have right now on the map. And it is a tornado warning, and it is for Lawrence County.
And Katie, on the backside of that, Wayne County was clipped out of that. So
yeah, I was just going to mention that. Good eye. The great minds think alike.
That's right.
So the Wayne County portion of the storm is done. So in the clear in Wayne County. But the area of concern continues to be very close to Lawrenceburg, Flatwoods, and Etheridge. Again, a couple areas of rotation that we continue to watch. And we could easily be getting rotation since we're a little higher up with the radar beam just above the surface. But a couple areas that we continue to watch here will be near Lawrenceburg and Flatwoods. There's one maybe right there. Might be another one back here. Could be more even up in here. So hopefully we'll be able to let this warning expire, but still definitely enough rotation that we need to keep an eye on it, and the tornado warning will continue here for Lawrenceburg. So it is approaching Highway 43, Etheridge to Flatwoods and Lawrenceburg. But in addition to that, as I mentioned, very heavy rainfall and a lot of lightning with it, very noisy storms that continue. These counties, again, in the southern part of the viewing area are the ones in the tornado watch. To the north of 40, anyone north of I-40 and along I-40, generally in the clear. The exception to DeKalb County and White County, pretty close to I-40 there. But basically, this is going to be south of 40 where we have any additional severe weather problems. The watch goes until 3. Does not necessarily mean that it will be until 3. It could cancel early if the severe threat goes away. But as long as there is a possibility of severe weather, they will keep the watch in place. So we'll hope for weakening storms as the evening rolls on. Unfortunately, I wish we could wish away the rain to go with it. Because we don't need that still. Haven't talked about our flood watch again in a while, so we'll revisit that. Our flood watch has been extended to 1 o'clock now. So we are looking at, we are looking at quite a bit of flash flood warnings. This includes almost all of Middle Tennessee. We do have a camera in Gallatin we can take a look at right now, showing some pretty heavy rain. So this is, again, in Gallatin, yeah, and the rain coming down almost horizontal. So the wind's still breezy behind the storm, the main line that pushed through here. And we did get several reports of storm clouds, shelf clouds in Gallatin. The potential for maybe a tornado. We were under tornado warning in the Gallatin area. So again, it may be a day or two or even more than that before we know exactly what happened with this storm that moved through this afternoon. Kelly's in the breaking news just now, and she has new information. Kelly.
That's right, Katie. Very upsetting breaking news right now. The Tennessee Department of Health confirms 10 people have died after this week's storms across the state. 5 of those deaths are from right here in McNairy County, where the National Weather Service confirmed an EF3 tornado packing 160-mile-an-hour winds. It caused catastrophic damage in Selmer. As you can see there, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee got a firsthand look at all of that damage as he declared a state of emergency for the state. Now, President Trump has granted federal assistance for Tennesseans in the storm-ravaged areas. Beyond McNairy County, the health department is reporting 2 additional deaths in Fayette County, 1 in Carroll County, 1 in Obion County, 1 in Tipton County as well. And I can tell you these deaths are from earlier in the week, as again, the damage continues as the system has just not seemed to let up. I'm going to send it back to our Fox 17 News Code Red meteorologist, Katie Morgan, as we are in the middle of another tornado warning right now.
Yep, still following the one in Lawrence County. There is new information here, and this is somewhat good news. Still a severe thunderstorm warning, but there is a new big severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued for portions of Lewis County, southern Murray County. This is going to be for northern Giles County and all of Marshall County. And why this is good news? Because Weather Service continues to see weakening trends within the tornado-warned storm. So in its place, they have put out a severe thunderstorm warning for this line that is pushing through here. So the good news is that we are seeing that weakening trend. We will continue with the warning, though, until 10:15. So we are still looking at a tornado warning that will remain in effect until 10:15 for Lawrence County, because we still have some weak areas of rotation that we really want to keep a close eye on. And so with that, Weather Service is going to let this one ride out till 10:15, and then and then as long as we don't see anything tighten up again, the warning will go away at 10:15, and it's replaced with a severe thunderstorm warning for those to the west. Still, I would say for those in Giles County, Marshall County, Lewis and Murray, pay close attention to this line because it tends to have a mind of its own. So still, I would say that we've got some good rotation near Etheridge to Lawrenceburg, right along Highway 43, but not enough that they're expecting it to continue here into the neighboring counties. So the severe thunderstorm warning will take its place as we get toward 10:15, but the warning will stick around, so we'll stick with it until 10:15 here. The rain also is still an issue, and I know we've been talking a lot about that. So let's cycle through some of our cameras just to see still low clouds over downtown, and still raining, good bit of rain through the Nashville area. We were also looking at our Springfield camera a while back, and it still sees some rain there too. And then our Gallatin camera we were just showing live, also showing quite a bit of rain. We do have our traffic car that has been out with Miss Amanda Chin, and let's see what we have going on there. All right, so I don't know if we have Amanda. Okay, so just video. But this is, again, I believe they're still in Gallatin. Is that where they were? Okay, they're in Gallatin, headed towards Wilson County. And still lots of rain on those roads. South Water Avenue in Gallatin. Again, roads not going to be something, if you don't need to be out, just best to stay at home. This is one of those situations too where we're talking about a lot of rain in the overnight hours. You can't see the roads sometimes in those rural spots where you may not know that the road is flooded. Or crews haven't been able to get there, or emergency personnel haven't been able to get there to block it off yet. So just keep that in mind for tonight, because these types of flash floods can pick up in a hurry, and you don't have a lot of time to act once you are faced with flash flooding. So real important for tonight that you keep that in mind. Again, Saturday night into Sunday morning. I'm hopeful that things will look a little bit better by the time folks are headed to church tomorrow morning, but we will still have lingering problems throughout the day on Sunday, and then river problems will linger for days because we've had so much rainfall across the area here. So still quite a bit of steady rain that pushes through, and I'll put this in motion again just over the past hour. In fact, I can back this up even more. Let's look at the last 6 to 8 hours. Here's 8 hours. Here's the entire evolution. And this started right about 2 o'clock. And there was that big line that came through, if you remember, right around 4:35. and it's just been nothing but a wall of water since. As we've moved into the evening hours tonight. We're getting this little second push, so we'll do this one more time. This is where that big severe line came through into downtown Nashville. Possible we could have had a few tornadoes with that. We did have tornado warn storms from Dixon County all the way through Macon County and Clay County, and then moved into southern Kentucky. So again, take the Weather Service a few days. If not longer. They'll probably get a preliminary estimate within the next 3-4 days, and then beyond that, they'll go back and fine tune the forecast. They do a lot of things when they go out to storm survey. They not only look at damage, they're looking at how the damage is spread. Is it spread in one direction, or is it spread out kind of all over? If it's spread out all over, that is indications of a tornado that went through. If it's spread out in one direction, that's more straight line wind damage. But they'll use that. They'll have a look at the structures that had damage to them. They'll use that as an indication. They'll go back to radar and they'll look at the timestamps of when these storms move through, and they can pick out spots where there might have been a little bit of rotation moving in, or maybe again with straight line wind damage. These are all questions that the Weather Service will answer over the coming days. So even though we haven't heard of too many tornado reports, especially from overnight Wednesday into Thursday, they haven't been able to get out to survey yet because we've just had round after round after round. So after this round, we will be done. This is the grand finale, I've been calling it. And we will be looking at a dry period going into next week, which is music to, I think, all of our ears. In fact, there's a chance for frost as we head into Monday and Tuesday night. So hopefully you have not planted yet. If you have, hopefully it's in a pot that you can bring into the garage so you can protect it. Because I do think we are looking at frost that'll be likely for Monday night and Tuesday night. So, but the good news is it's a fairly dry stretch of weather. So after tonight through tomorrow, tonight I would say the main threat comes to an end by tomorrow mid-morning. We'll continue to likely see some light showers through the afternoon on Sunday, but doesn't look to be as worrisome and as intense as we go through tomorrow afternoon. But it's going to be a while, I think, before we really can dry out from all of the rainfall that we have. Brett's actually got a really good map up showcasing where some of those highest totals are. And this is really interesting, too, because it almost looks more like a snow map where we have a cutoff from who gets the snow and who doesn't.
Yeah, if you're living in the southeastern portions of Middle Tennessee, if you live in areas even like Lawrenceburg, until recently, hadn't really seen much rain, but especially areas like Tullahoma, Winchester, McMinnville, on over into Crossville, up into Cookville, you just really have not seen a whole lot of rain with these daily rounds of storm that a lot of us have been having to deal with, especially if you're north of Interstate 40 and west of Interstate 65. Some of these areas have just gotten a significant amount of rain, and the reason why I'm not on the tornado warning right now is that rotation is still not looking as impressive. They are just going to hold on to it for a little bit longer, but I felt like I had a little bit of time to show you some of these rainfall totals because flooding could be a real issue. I'll show you some of the flood warnings and watches here in just a second. I've shown this map a few times now, though, but if you're around the Tennessee and Kentucky line up here in our northwestern counties, you can see these numbers right here, 10, 11, 12 up to 14 or 15 inches of radar estimated rainfall totals from just over the past 5 days alone. That is a significant amount of rain. And then on top of that, we're going to get more as we go through the overnight hours tonight, and then a little bit more on Sunday. Not expecting really any severe weather for especially once we get to mid-morning or so on Sunday and through the rest of the day, but more rain will be possible for some of these areas. This is one of the things that we're going to have to look at too. So flash flooding is going to be an issue. We have flash flood warnings in effect for several areas. I'm going to try to get a little bit of time map on this. So if these don't get extended, Nashville, we're looking at 10:30 p.m. on this flash flood warning for tonight. Same with the ones up in Robertson County. Also, Stewart and Montgomery County, those are going to go until early tomorrow morning. There is a chance, though, that some of these could get extended. Just know that do not try to cross any flooded roadways. That is not a good idea, not a safe thing to try to do. If you come up upon any of those, just try to turn around and find you a different way. And Kelly, we're going to get to you in just 1 second if I can, but I'm going to try to get this up real quick too if I got time. I'm trying to get over here to some of my river level maps. I just want to show you this. So up here in the Cumberland River at Clarksville, this could be an issue for some folks as we head on into the next couple of days. So forecast crest up in the Cumberland River at Clarksville, 48.4 feet. That's going to be Monday at 1 a.m. That's going to put that in minor flood stage. We're going to move over a little bit. This is Red River near Port Royal. Forecast crest there, 41.9 feet. That is for Sunday at 7 p.m. and that is going to put that into major flood stage. So some of our river levels, especially in the northwestern areas of Middle Tennessee, those are getting pretty high. So that's something that you need to keep in mind. Kelly, what you got over there? I think you got some more information.
Thanks, Brett. Well, we're going to send it right over to Amanda Chin, who is in our steer clear traffic car monitoring the damage across the mid-state. Amanda, I understand you're in Wilson County.
Hey, Kelly.
Which did have a tornado warning.
We are in Wilson County. We just got to Lebanon. And we actually did just try turning on one of the roads. I'm going to turn it over to this camera so you can actually see what we're seeing. We're seeing some crews, looking like some downed power lines around this area in Lebanon. To the right of the screen, you can see those crews looking to fix those power lines down. Oh, up here too. We are getting closer and we can see some more crews as well. Now, this information comes from the Wilson County Sheriff's Office. We actually just went past one of the roads, Old LaGuardo Road, and the sheriff's deputy said that area is still closed and we shouldn't go down there because of downed power line, downed trees. They're asking everyone to please avoid the areas and use caution if travel is necessary. Okay, you're seeing some crews fixing these power lines over here. Again, we are on Highway 109 right now in Lebanon. Now, there are also some other road closures in Wilson County right now as well, but this is just a glimpse of what we're seeing here in Lebanon. Also, a few minutes ago, the rain started coming down way harder than before as well. So just dealing with the rain, potential for flooding, and all of these downed wires that we're seeing. But good thing is that we have crews out here working 24/7 to repair those, restore power to those who lost it. But we'll keep you guys updated as we continue to drive down here in Wilson County. Back to you, Kelly.
Thanks so much, Amanda. And as Amanda said, those crews are working very hard. We are at 33,000 power outages throughout the Nashville area, NES. That was up about 20,000 higher just a couple hours ago. So they are working to restore power for you. Those outages, the 33,282 that I'm seeing right now, are spread throughout the entire Nashville electric service area. I can't even pinpoint one area for you. They are spread everywhere. So be patient. The line crews are working very hard. I'm going to send it back on over to Fox 17 Code Red meteorologist Katie Morgan.
All right, thanks so much, Kelly. I have the power outage map there up behind you and now behind me. So this showcases percentage of people without power, percentage of the population. So we're at about 10%, between 10 and 20% here in Nashville and for Sumner County. Surrounding counties, less than 10% of the population without power at the moment here. So we'll zoom out and you can see where most of the hard hit areas continue to be where we had that first batch of storms move through. So remember, this was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon when we started to see these storms move in, and then closer to about 4 or 5 o'clock here in Davidson County, about 5 p.m., and then towards Sumner County and exited through Macon County and up into Allen and Monroe and Cumberland counties in southern Kentucky. So this is mainly from that first batch of storms earlier this evening, but we will continue to see the potential for power outages right now, mainly in this southern line of storms that continue to push through Lawrence County. Now again, the tornado warning is going to continue until 10:15, but the good news is the radar trends have weakened considerably. So if you're in Lawrence County, I would go ahead and just hang out if you can in your safe place as this storm passes, because there is still evidence that there is some weak rotation that we need to at least be cautious of, but the trends are looking good. So over the next 15-20 minutes, hopefully we will see this warning go away, and it has been replaced with a severe thunderstorm warning. So this is good news as well. Again, National Weather Service out of Nashville thinking that the trends have weakened so much that they're not too concerned with reissuing a tornado warning and instead is putting in its place a severe thunderstorm warning. And Brett, I didn't even look on that severe thunderstorm warning if they issued a tornado possible tag.
Let me pull that up real quick.
I don't think they did. That's usually an inside baseball term that meteorologists will use, just letting us know whether or not they think there still is a potential for a tornado. If they don't put that tag on the warning, then they're not overly concerned with a spinning or rotating threat.
Just 60-mile-an-hour winds and penny-sized hail.
That's good. So that means that they're not too concerned with even the potential for a tornado, where they might have to reissue a warning. They're just mainly concerned at this point with high winds in excess of 60 miles per hour and maybe some pennies, like Brett mentioned, penny-sized hail.
Yeah, Katie, that's the only tornado warning, and I think we're all on the same page on that. Just not showing near as good a rotation. They're just going to hold on to it just a little bit longer, just for that little bit of weak rotation. Let that drop off at 10:15, and then that severe thunderstorm warning is going to take control of that as that pushes up further into areas like Murray County on over into Marshall County as well. So if you live in parts of Murray County, around Columbia, also into Marshall County, around Lewisburg, northern portions of Giles County, you're not in a tornado warning, but you are in a severe thunderstorm warning, and you could be seeing winds at 60 miles an hour. So that is something that you just need to pay attention to. This is not in our viewing area down here. This is right on the Mississippi and Alabama state line, up in northeastern portions of Alabama. There is a confirmed tornado, so you will keep on watching that. I do think some of the better ingredients are still right there in that area. But we will watch that, because if it can hold together and keep on moving north, that would eventually put it up into our southern counties here in Middle Tennessee. Not a concern right now, but just something that I'm going to be watching as we go through the next hour or so, the trends on that storm. It's just really a good flash flood threat for some of these areas. We'll pop back up the flood map right here and all the flash flood warnings. All of these maroon boxes, they are not flashing, so they are not tornado warnings. These are the flash flood warnings. All of those kind of squares of the maroon boxes, all these darker shades of green are the flood watches. Most of these flood watches are going to go until about 1 p.m. on a Sunday. However, some of our more southeastern counties are included in these for a little bit longer. Areas like Lincoln, Moore, and Franklin counties all included in those, the flood watches until 7 p.m. So just keep that in mind. It looks like some of that should be getting better, like Katie was saying, by the time you're heading out to church in the morning. But it could still be an issue for some areas. So just keep that in mind. If you're out on the roads early tomorrow morning, we want you to stay safe and not try to drive through any of those flooded roadways that could cause you some concern. So just try to turn around and find you a different way to get around some of those. We'll go back here and actually just reset everything real quick, because I'm not super worried about this rotation on this storm here in Lawrence County. There is still that tornado warning until 10:15. So it's a good idea to just stay in your safe place for a little bit longer until at least 10:15, and then that threat will be past you, and then it'll be all good to go ahead and get out of there. But we'll put it on the reflectivity. I'm going to make sure that I'm on the Nashville radar site right here and zoom way out, because you can still see a lot of rainfall happening for a good portion of Middle Tennessee, especially if you're down here around parts of Murray County, Williamson County, Lawrence County. Those storms down there bringing in some heavy rain. That's just going to add to what these areas have seen over the past few days. And then up here in our northwestern counties, this is an area that we're really going to be watching for the potential for some more flooding, because it's these spots and that have seen just a lot of rainfall over the past 5 days. So anywhere really in this blue circle, that could even extend further south too. You got to be careful for the chance for any flash flooding in those areas. And then south of that, the only warnings that we have in place are the tornado warning that is going to be dropping off at 10:15. Feel pretty good about that. And then that severe thunderstorm warning that is going to be dropping off at 10:30. That severe thunderstorm warning is for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts possible with this, along with maybe some penny-sized hail with that storm right there that's in Lawrence County. That's going to keep on pushing up northeast into parts of Giles County, Murray County, cross over Interstate 65, and then head on over into Marshall County. So if you're in Mount Pleasant or Lewisburg, Columbia, you could be seeing some strong winds, some of these straight line winds that's going to be possible with that storm, along with some lightning, and then obviously you're going to be hearing some thunder with it too.
All right, thanks, Brett. And again, still watching the tornado watch there that's in effect until 3 o'clock in the morning. I want to mention too that our rain continues to fall in Nashville and surrounding areas. So we're watching this. In fact, I just got a note that the flash flood warning for Sumner, Rutherford, Wilson, Davidson, Williamson, Dixon, and Cheatham. So basically for the surrounding Nashville, greater Nashville and Murfreesboro area will continue now. It's been extended until 4:30 this morning. So the radar trends continue to show a very steady, moderate rain that is falling, and it will only hurt these areas that were felt pretty hard over the last 48 hours. We do have our traffic car again in the Gallatin area. Okay, I-40 near Mount Juliet, or headed towards Mount Juliet and I-40. That's the traffic car. And still pretty nasty conditions on the road. And keep in mind too, if you've lived here long enough, especially the interstates, they have those spots that water ponds and hydroplaning becomes a big problem. This is going to be one of those nights where you just want to take it easy on the roadways as you're making your way to wherever you need to be. Hopefully you can just be at home for tonight. But that rain is definitely going to be a problem for the, at least I would say maybe the next 12 hours before it starts to really let up. I wanted to note too on radar here, if you're waking up, you're still hearing a lot of thunder. There's some lightning ever so often. But if you live in the Berry Hill area, Oak Hill, Green Hills, even Brentwood, Belmead, we had a positive lightning strike here. That is why the little lightning flash is yellow. And those positive lightning strikes can really wake you up or jump you out of your chair, because they come from the top of the thunderstorm cloud, and they produce a louder boom, a crack of thunder, and it reverberates a little bit longer, kind of rumbles and rumbles and rumbles. And so our radar is able to pick up on that, and that's what we're seeing here. I'll zoom in a little bit more since it's a little small. There you go. So right around Oak Hill, we had this positive lightning strike. So if you live in Green Hills, Oak Hill, Berry Hill, over towards Glencliff, Creve Hall, these locations, Forest Hills, even Belmead, that's a big strike of lightning right there. And notice the other ones around it are in white. So those are usually those lightning strikes will come from the base of the cloud or from the bottom part of the cloud. Still loud, but those positive charged strikes coming from the top of the cloud, you definitely can tell a difference when it strikes. And I've seen a couple of those positive strikes. Here's another one out in Hickman County. Again, it's going to be a noisy night, I'm afraid. And even with this lightning well behind the main line that pushed through this afternoon, just again confirms that these are some fairly strong, even rainstorms that are moving through. They're non-severe through Nashville, Franklin, and through all of Metro Center. But we are definitely seeing those storms continue.
Katie, they came out with an update on that tornado warning. They're still going to let it go until 10:15. Some areas have been clipped out of that, though. So if you're in the more western half of Lawrence County, you have been removed from that tornado warning. So areas like Deerfield, Knob Creek, we'll zoom in here, get you a few more of these town names. So Mount Lebanon, Gandy, Knob Creek, Lodi, Deerfield, Ovilla, Hudson, Long Branch, Springer Station, any of those spots down here in Henryville, Lawrence County, you are all good to come out of your safe place. That storm that was kind of posing a little bit of a threat has now pushed across your area, and this is really the only area that we're watching right now. The rotation is not looking as good, and again, we're kind of like on the outside of this radar, so we're getting a little bit of gap, but the rotation isn't looking quite as good, so they are not going to extend that tornado warning any longer. They did replace that with a severe thunderstorm warning. Several minutes ago now, they issued this severe thunderstorm warning for mainly 60-mile-an-hour winds, but there could be about some penny-sized hail with that. It looks like Lewis County was also just clipped out of that severe thunderstorm warning. So this severe thunderstorm warning is now for northern areas of Giles County, for parts of Murray County and then on over into Marshall County. Could be looking at some very strong winds, a little bit of lightning too if you're around Columbia right now, Mount Pleasant, Etheridge, even on the eastern side of Lawrenceburg. And then that storm will keep on moving to the northeast. It's moving now to the northeast at about 35 miles an hour, still bringing in some heavy rainfall. And even though the tornado threat does not look really good right now for eastern portions of Lawrence County, I think that tornado threat, there's not a good signature on the radar is what I'm trying to say. We are looking at some more flooding. I'm hearing something in my ear about, is that a flash flood warning?
Yeah, that was
gosh.
that's actually our Code Red weather app that will alert you when we have warnings that are issued, a flash flood warning. That's what we just had. So that was the extension of the warning that National Weather Service just put out a few minutes ago. And that's going to go for until 4:30 in the morning.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So that was 10:30. Now we're pushing it out to 4:30. Kelly, I think you got a little bit more information too for us. What do you have over there?
We've got some safety tips, and these tips are coming in from Warren County Emergency Management in Kentucky. They're putting this out there not just to warn you, but this is what they're seeing people do over the past few days in these emergency conditions. So let's put up that full screen for you. Never drive through or around a barricade.
What?
People are doing this, and Warren County Emergency Management put out this post to make sure you're not doing that. You don't know what is behind that barricade. You don't know how deep that water is. That brings us to our next point. If you don't know, don't go. If you don't know how deep that water is, as we've been hearing Brett and Katie say throughout these tornado warnings, do not go through that flooding. It could be a few inches, it could be much deeper. Parts of the road could give out. It only takes a few inches for your car to give way and then be swept away in those floodwaters. Most flooding fatalities happen in vehicles. Again, people driving through water and they don't know how deep it is and then getting swept away. So please take caution and take any barricades or barriers, cones that you see seriously. I'm going to send it back to our Fox 17 News Code Red weather team as we are still in the midst of a tornado warning right now.
That's right, Kelly, thank you. And the tornado warning again is just, they're just keeping it for another 10 minutes. The rotation really isn't evident anymore on radar, and the severe thunderstorm warning is going to take its place. So we're just kind of hanging with it here as it moves into the eastern portions of Lawrence County, now pushing east of Lawrenceburg and through Etheridge at the moment. But emergency personnel put up barriers for a reason. They're not doing it.
I never understand that.
They're not doing it for fun. That's kind of a pet peeve of mine. If there's a barrier up, there's a reason for it, especially in the overnight hours when you can't see what's on the other side. And as Kelly mentioned too, the amount of heavy rain that we've had, you just don't know how deep it is. Flooding is the #1 severe weather killer. It's not tornadoes. It's flooding because people don't take it seriously. And again, that just brings me back to stressing about the flooding tonight. The potential is definitely there for life-threatening flash flooding, and a lot of it is because of people doing things like that, driving around a barrier. So please heed the emergency personnel's warnings on those barriers and anything that is shut down and closed. If you see water that is covering a road, find another route. It's so much easier to just extend your drive 5 minutes more rather than getting stuck in a river that may take you somewhere you don't want to go. So again, flooding is a serious situation, and I feel like it does not get the respect that it deserves. So again, a lot of us are going to be dealing with flooding issues as we go through the overnight. And we keep coming back to this map here. The flash flood warning in Nashville in Davidson County. So this is the one here for Sumner County, portions even of Cheatham County, into Rutherford County, Wilson County, Williamson County. It's been extended until 4:30 this morning. So with all of the extra rain that we continue to see over this very saturated ground, we're not going to get very much help from drying out anytime soon. And in fact, this batch here is starting to push a little more north. In fact, I'll back this up about an hour just to see the trend of where this rain is headed. And here we go for folks in Williamson, already feeling it now through Franklin, into Nashville, heads up, a new batch of heavy rain is starting to move in here. So in fact, we put on the rainfall rates and you can see where some of those heavier rates are. And I'm going to take lightning off and let's track this. So this is the higher, it's kind of moving this way. And I don't know how fast it's moving. Not too fast. I'm going to put it about 40 miles an hour. So this is maybe an estimate at when you can expect some higher rain rates to begin to take effect, to move in. Higher rain told us heavier rain. So we're in for another round. Then this green here is about a half an inch and a half to 3 inches an hour in some spots. So that tells you that if this storm were stationary, which it's not moving very fast, we'd see the intensity fluctuate a little bit. But we could be looking at 1.5 inches an hour in these darker spots, 3 inches an hour. So these rain rates here, even what doesn't sound like too much, it's a lot for an area that's already just seen too much, just soaked with rain. So we're going to have a push of heavy rain here over the next 20 to 30 minutes moving into Davidson County. And we continue. I have not seen, Brett, the radar really change color out here.
No, it's just, it stayed a good, steady, kind of hard rain for some of those areas.
Yeah, and I've changed radars just so we're not seeing higher up from the Nashville site. So here's Hopkinsville, a very still steady, moderate to heavy rainfall continues. And these were spots that we were forecasting 8 to 10 inches. And Brett was showing earlier that we're already up to close to 13 in portions of northwest Trigg County, and then a little bit more outside of our viewing area into western Kentucky. So anywhere between 7, 8, 9 inches, 10 inches of rain plus in a lot of spots up here, and in for at least another 2, 3 inches, maybe another 2, 3 inches for the overnight tonight. So that's going to be problematic. Still watching this, the tornado warning that will expire here in 5 minutes, and the severe thunderstorm warning that's along with it. So severe thunderstorm warning will continue for northern Giles County, all of Marshall County, and Murray County, mainly for spots around Columbia and Point South. And then your eyes probably drawn to the this one right here. Maybe not because the banner was covering it. But that's a confirmed tornado that's moving through northern Alabama right now. So we'll keep an eye on that one as well. But it looks like more of the severe ingredients are starting to settle into northern Alabama as opposed to middle Tennessee, which is not great news for northern Alabama, but kind of music to our ears here in Tennessee. So hopefully all of this will just kind of fizzle out. But I think we've got another at least couple of hours to go for the potential for severe storms as we work our way into, I'd say midnight or just after midnight. This little batch here will likely continue to at least be severe warned for this little batch of storms here in our southern counties. So Pulaski in 10 minutes from now. This is the track for the severe thunderstorm warning. Lewisburg in 15 minutes and Cornersville in about 16 minutes. So these spots need to make sure that you're paying real close attention here. 60-mile-per-hour winds will be possible. Maybe some small hail with this storm too as it works its way across these locations. So I've switched radars. It looks a little bit better. So again, not overly concerned with any tornado potential here. They have not even mentioned the potential for rotation. So again, that's a good trend that we want to continue to see with this warning. The warning goes until 10:30. So the warning itself only has about 15 minutes left. Kelly, what do you got for us?
Continue to be on the ground in our steer clear traffic car, tracking the roads and the weather conditions everywhere you are. Our Amanda Chin is in Mount Juliet right now. Amanda, what are you seeing there?
Yeah, Kelly, we are on South Green Hill Road in Mount Juliet. And as we've been driving, we've seen quite a lot of rain come down, that's for sure. But I'll show you kind of what we're looking at right now on South Green Hill Road. We've also seen a ton of really big lightning strikes as well as we were driving. We haven't necessarily seen any damage or trees down right now, but again, it is very dark out on these roads, so I'm sure as daylight comes, it will get a much clearer picture of the damage that's been sustained here in Wilson County. Now, the reason why we are heading this way is because according to the Wilson County Sheriff's Office, there are some road closures here in Mount Juliet. So one of the road closures that we are super close to is on North Green Hill Road at Paddock Place, but also South Green Hill Road at Medarius. Now, South Green Hill Road at Medarius, we are close to right now, and apparently there is a road closure around here due to down trees and power lines. The Wilson County Sheriff's Office is asking people to avoid the following areas and use caution if travel is necessary. Again, the rain just continues to come down here in Wilson County, and like Katie just mentioned, there is a flash flood warning here in Wilson County along with other counties as well. So you want to be really careful if you're heading out on the roads here tonight, but we'll send it back to you, Kelly, for now.
Safe out there. We're going to take a look at some more foreboding looking clouds now. These were out of Gallatin when that tornado warning went through Sumner County. Let's take a look. Stacey Austin sent us this picture. This is near 109 by Jonathan's Grill and the Publix there. What kind of cloud? Now, we've been getting a lot of these pictures, Katie and Brett. It looks like a funnel, but you're saying it's not necessarily.
No, that's a shelf cloud.
That's a shelf cloud. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Shelf cloud is going to be real large, like you're seeing there. Kind of looks like a spaceship. We get that a lot too, if you look at it from afar. And then underneath it, that's all rain. So that's a big rain shaft with a lot of rain and a lot of wind. And what I was saying earlier is what likely occurred. As I'm looking back here at radar, we might have been able to see a tornado as it was. Okay, so this is near 109 near Gallatin a little earlier here. We could have likely had a tornado. In fact, it looks like I was just reading emails that Cheatham County Emergency Management says it appears that a tornado has touched down in the southern portions of Cheatham County from this cell that was pushing through in Cheatham County a little earlier in the afternoon before it hit Gallatin. They have approximately 10 homes with damage and 5 of those with major damage due to trees falling on roofs. And they still have about 800 homes without power. So it is very likely within that storm somewhere we could have had a tornado touch down. We also had some very strong winds regardless from this whole line, and that we usually get from a shelf cloud too, but we did see rotation on radar with this storm here. It likely was just rain wrapped. And what that means is that it's just hidden inside that big rain curtain that you see there with those pictures. So it really beautiful weather pictures, but we don't like what they do as far as damage goes. Yes, but they are pretty. They are pretty pictures. We don't like see them because we know what can happen with wind and power outages and maybe sometimes even tornadoes within those lines. So yeah, it's gonna be a couple of days before Weather Service can get their feet on the ground and really getting out to start surveying, not only from tonight, but again, going into from this whole week, this whole past week. So it'll be a while, Kelly.
Absolutely. And Stacey Austin, thank you so much for sending that in through our Chime In app. Your pictures and videos always help us tell the weather story, where you are, where all of our viewing audience is. Now you can scan that QR code that you're looking at on your screen, and that will take you directly to our Chime In page on fox17.com.